Hello everyone, salutations. So today we are going to begin with Standard 11th lesson number 2, Introduction to DBMS of Maharashtra State Board. So let us start. Now, database in day-to-day life everybody uses. Okay. Here example is given a phone book or a phone diary. Similarly, in a class a teacher may need to keep the record of students. So imagine there is no computer system, but if there is no computer system, the teacher will use to maintain. Teacher will use paper and files to maintain the record of students. Okay, so she may create tables in various pages. Okay, the tables may have columns, and the columns may represent each and every amount of information like the roll number of student, name, contact number, address, blood group, and so on. All the details of the student. Okay, so handwritten records can be maintained, but when we maintain the records, mostly we use the tabular format to maintain records. Okay, so this is our general practice of maintaining records. Even though if we are not maintaining records in computers, we use such methods to save the records. Okay, but if we use a computer, okay, a computerized mechanism of saving lots of data, then the computerized mechanism of saving data is known as database. People may use various applications like Excel, Word, or any other application, okay, but a proper application which is meant to save large amount of data is not MS Word or your Excel file. Excel file you can use to keep the records, but there is no constraint in Excel or a spreadsheet application. There is no constraint of entering duplicate uh, data. That means you can enter number of duplicate data. Roll number one, okay, for example, roll number one, the name is Nisha. Then again, roll number two, name is Prarthi, for example. Then roll number one can be repeated once again, and Excel is not going to tell you that there is duplicate entry for roll number one. Okay. On top of that, second time when you duplicate roll number one, you give different name. For example, Roshni. So in one place you are giving roll number one as some another name, and when you're duplicating it, you are giving some another name. So spreadsheet application is not going to say anything. Okay, that why are you first of all duplicating the records, and why are you creating ambiguous details, confusing details. Okay, either roll number one may be Nisha or maybe Roshni. How can roll number one be Nisha as well as Roshni? Okay, so spreadsheet application is not going to pose any kind of error. So that is why a proper application, computer application is needed to save the records in correct manner. And database, if we use computerized way to save the records, database file. Okay, so database file is used to save the records systematically. All right, so accordingly, points are given in the textbook that in our day-to-day life, every person uses database. Then we use phone diary. All right, so doctor maintains medical history of patients. Librarian maintains records for the book details, etc. Teacher maintains records of student. Okay, then name, roll number, marks. Similarly, librarian will maintain the record in the form of book details, issue date, return date, etc. Now, in a computer system, when we always maintain our records, and to maintain data in systematic manner, database is very useful. Okay, so the correct way to save the records is by use of a database file. Okay, people use generally a lot of different type of files, but most correct method is to use a database file. All right. So, what is the definition of database? A database. See, the first point is the definition. Database is collection of interrelated data which helps in efficient retrieval, inserting, and deleting of data. All right. So now see, now this is a diagrammatic representation of that same definition provided by the website csharpcorner.com. Now, in between, you can see the icon of data, which is represented with yellow color. So, database is generally represented like this. This is the proper icon to represent a database. Okay, so using a database, you can organize records, you can read what you have saved, okay, read the records, then write, that means make changes, you can make updations, okay, you can archive means compact and save it, then also if not required you may delete some records, not the entire database. Okay, you can also delete the entire database, but I am not talking about delete. I meant if you want to delete some records. For example, there is a student database and a particular student left the school. So now there is no requirement to save the details of that student, okay, who has left the school. So that particular record of student, the entire details, a single row, can be deleted. Similarly, records which are not needed can be deleted. So deletion is also possible. So all these activities. So using a database, you can organize records, you can retrieve the records, okay, you can make changes, you can update it, you can compact and save it, that means archive it, as well as whatever is not needed inside the database file, unwanted details, you can delete them. Okay, now coming back to the definition, this is the exact definition given in the textbook, almost exact. Okay, so first of all, it says database is collection of interrelated data. Interrelated data in the sense, now see here, the teacher keeps record, third point, teacher keeps records of student like name, roll number and marks. Now all of these details are interrelated to each other. Roll number of a student, the roll number is not an entire detail, okay, not a complete detail. So there is the name, okay, and the marks of the student are related to a particular roll number which may bear some name. So all the details will be interrelated to each other, and hence the definition is saying database is a collection of interrelated data which helps in efficient retrieval, inserting, and deleting of data. So here only three terms are mentioned, but actually you can achieve more than three terms. You can organize the data, update the data, whatever you do not want, you can delete it. Okay, make changes, compact it. Okay. Now, second point says in exams marks obtained by the student in subjects is data. Okay. So individual subject marks are data, and but when they are entered in report card, okay, after marks are entered in report card, some total will be calculated, average will be calculated, some rank will be allotted. Okay, if the student passes in all subject, a rank is provided. So the percentage, total, rank, that speaks about the performance of the student. Okay, so before entering marks in the report card, the marks were just raw pieces of data, okay, raw numeric data. But when we entered in report card, the total got calculated, percentage got calculated. So total and percentage will be again your information which is showing some performance of the student. Okay, thus when data is maintained in an organized manner, that means when you arrange the marks of student properly, when you utilize the marks to calculate total as well as percentage, the marks will be meaningful to suggest what is the performance of the student. Similarly, thus when data is maintained in an organized manner, it becomes meaningful and organized information. So proper utilization of data forms information. Now, this diagram we have already understood. Now, what is data versus information? Now, this differentiation we already studied in chapter number 1 also, but once again, it is important to understand because when data is organized properly, it is known as information. So, processed data is known as information. Okay, so points are given as follows: data is raw facts. Okay, marks of a student, they are raw facts. Mobile number of an employee, a raw fact. Okay, then uh, information is processed data. When you process the data properly, information is achieved. Okay, then data does not help in decision making. Okay, now random marks of student cannot be much helpful to make some decision. Okay, but if there is proper comparison, okay, first unit test and first terminal, so how the student performed in first terminal and how they performed previously in first unit test, if you can see there is some increase in marks, that means the student has improved. Okay, and if the marks got decreased, that means the performance has dropped. Okay, so when there is some study, okay, when some study is done on data, organized data, it can help in decision making. But random pieces of data, random pieces of raw information, whether a numeric information or a character information, anything, it does not much help to make some decision. That is the second point. The third point is data can be relevant or irrelevant. Okay, so data is there. Now, in a report card, there is actually no requirement of putting the phone number of the student. There is actually no requirement. So, at that time, the detail called phone number becomes irrelevant when you are preparing report card. Okay, so but name of the student, roll number of the student, very, very relevant data. So, it depends upon the nature of work for which some data will be relevant and some may become irrelevant. Okay, then without data, information cannot be processed. If there is no data, there is no formation of information. Okay, so for output you need some input. So input is data, output is information. Example, each student's exam score is one piece of data and the average score of a class or the entire school is information that can be derived from the given data. A lot of comparative study can be done if the data is studied properly, arranged properly, organized properly. Now, next topic is about DBMS. Okay, now DBMS is the software which allows us to create database file. If you want to create a database file, we must use DBMS software or DBMS application. For example, if you want to prepare a letter, if you want to type and print a letter, you must use word processing software. If you want to prepare a mark list, okay, if you want to prepare a mark list or an employee salary sheet, you must use spreadsheet application. Similarly, when you want to create a database file, you must use DBMS software or DBMS application. So the relation between database and a DBMS is database is the utility. Okay, database is the utility or database is the file. But to create that file, we must use DBMS software. Okay, so now what is DBMS? The definition, first point, sorry, I think so. Second point is the definition as well as the third point can also be counted as a definition. First point says a database often abbreviated as DB. So the shortcut to denote database is DB is a collection of information organized in such a way that the computer program can quickly select desired pieces of data. Now this is also a secondary definition to database. Okay. Otherwise, simply database can be called as collection of interrelated information. If you simply say collection of interrelated information, that is the definition of database. Now, second point, a DBMS is a software for creating and managing databases, as I told you. Okay, to create a DBMS file, we need DBMS software. The third point, the DBMS provides user and programmers with a systematic way to create, retrieve, update, and manage data. So all the things which we discussed over here, that means a database allows us all these activities. Okay, all these activities. But actually, DBMS software supports all these activities in a database file. Okay, so actually, DBMS gives support to give us all these facilities in the database. So DBMS is actually responsible. It provides a systematic way to create, retrieve, update, and manage data inside the database. Now, second last point, it stores data in such a way that it becomes easier to retrieve, manipulate, and update data. That means it is going to give you complete support so that you can use the database very easily. Okay, and nowadays using database has become very easy. You do not have to learn any syntax of any coding or syntax of any query. Okay, simply you can just click on the icons and complete the task. Using database has become very easy because DBMS does all the work of creation, retrieving, manipulation, and updation of information inside the database. Now, these are the popular DBMS softwares suggested in the textbook: MySQL, PostgreSQL, Access Oracle, SQL Server, IBM, DB2, and Sybase. Now, what DBMS does? Now, before this, let us see this because I think so. This is connecting to the point of the most popular databases as per 2021. So here you can see the information which is provided by this website divineinfosys.com. So MongoDB, PostgreSQL, Elasticsearch, Oracle MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, and Redis. So these are the popular DBMS softwares as per this website in 2021. Okay. Now, what this image is conveying. So basically, now see how database is used. Database is actually the application of database is very wide. We are going to study the next topic about the applications only, but how database plays a very important role in internet. Okay, now see, in internet we need to store lot of amount of information. The websites, okay, the websites which are stored in the server, we access the website from the server. Okay, server provides us the website to see on the web browser. Okay, so server stores lot of information, and to store information we need database. Okay, because capacity of storing data is higher in database file, and that is why database applications are needed in internet. Okay, so now see, we have here you can see a computer screen, okay, desktop screen, mobile screen, and a tablet. Okay, so these are what? These are front end website, mobile client app, mobile app. Okay, so these are front end application. We use apps on our devices. Okay, either it is a desktop, a laptop, smartphone, tablet. We use apps. Okay, but the apps, with the help of internet connectivity, they connect to the server, web server. Okay, web server provides them facilities. All right. Now, when we use app, it is connected to a dedicated web server. Okay. Now, Facebook app, when you open, you need first of all, you need internet connectivity or the Insta app or the YouTube app. Okay. So you need internet connectivity first of all. Only when you have internet connectivity, you can reach to now YouTube app will always have a dedicated communication with YouTube server. Okay. Facebook app will have a dedicated communication with Facebook server. All right. Similarly, it goes for other apps also. Then what about the web browser? Web browser is a powerful application which can make communication with all the different browsers. Okay. So it is a common tool, a common software. It is also a client software, web client software, or a web browser, which you generally know, Google Chrome, etc. All this type of softwares, Opera. So they can communicate with any server. Okay, but apps, they contact or communicate with the dedicated server. As I told you, Facebook app is going to have a dedicated communication with Facebook server. Okay, but using a Google Chrome also you can open the Facebook website, correct? And using the same Google Chrome you can also open YouTube website. All right. Now, so there will be mobile apps as well as web browsers installed in our computer, smartphone, and tablet, which will make communication with the web servers. Okay, but the information stored in the web server is in database. Okay, so using database, the information, large amount of information is stored in the web server. So web server requires database to store huge amount of information, vast information. So database is basically the back-end application to store the data. Okay. Now, for example, you are registering to obtain a email ID. Okay. So when you do the entry in the registration form, you provide all the details in the form. Okay. When you click on submit button, the form gets submitted, your details get submitted. But where does it submit? It gets submitted into the server, and in server there is database to store the data properly in the form of table. I hope so you understand. Okay, so same concept. Now if you want to take admission, okay, if there is a process of online admission, online registration in college for admission, so you are going to again provide the details in the online form and save the details. So the form is the front end application. Okay, the web browser in which you open the form, that is the front end application. Then there is the web server which is providing you the website of the college. Okay, but when you enter the details and save the registration form, first of all the form is submitted in the server, and in server how the data is submitted, it is submitted in the database. The details which is accepted, your entry which is accepted by the web server is saved in the database, and in database there are proper ways to store the data. Okay, many ways data is stored in form as well as table, various other ways. Okay, basically storage unit inside the database is table, so data is stored in tabular format. So that is how the entire application works. So database is very, very important. Okay, and it acts as a back-end application, as you can see. Okay, now this slide also we studied about. Now next is the application of database. I think so we will continue our topic in next video. So see you next time. Thank you for joining.